There are currently 6 semi-aquatic creatures in Jurassic World Evolution 3, with Spinosaurus, Suchomimus, Baryonyx, Pyroraptor, Dimetrodon, and Spinoraptor all being able to swim within the deep water. While there are plenty of creatures that should be able to swim, such as the Tyrannosaurus, there are plenty of creatures that could be added in the future that could take advantage of the deep water. And because of this, I made a concept for a semi-aquatic DLC in Jurassic World Evolution 3. There are going to be 4 slots in this hypothetical DLC pack, with 1 Spinosaurid, Crocodilian, Feathered Creature, and Herbivore. But with all of that out of the way, let's discuss what a semi-aquatic creature DLC could look like in Jurassic World Evolution 3. But before the video starts, remember to like and subscribe if you want to see more Regalious content. But back to the video. The first slot on this list will be filled by a Spinosaurid, with the newest addition to the Spinosaur roster being Baryonyx all the way back in 2018. There are 2 good options for new Spinosaurids in my opinion, with Irritator and Ichthyovenator. Both of these dinosaurs are relatively similar in size and appearance, with the main difference being their backs. Irritator has a relatively normal back for a Spinosaurid, and while it's slightly pronounced compared to other dinosaurs, it is nowhere near the proper sail that Spinosaurus has. Ichthyovenator, on the other hand, has a dip towards the back of their legs. And while the extent of this dip was caused by an injury in the fossilized specimen, the dip was still there in life, just less pronounced than it was in the fossil. Both of these Spinosaurids would be really cool, and I don't have a preference towards either one of them. And for the purposes of this video, I went with Irritator because there's a lot of screenshots of the modded version of it. The addition of a new Spinosaurid is one of the most requested things by the community, with both of these species being highly requested, and either one of them would be an awesome addition to Jurassic World Evolution 3. The next DLC slot is going to be filled by a Crocodilian, and there are a myriad of options, with creatures such as Caprosuchus and Purvosaurus being popular community requests. But the 2 most popular crocodilians are Sarcosuchus and Deinosuchus. Both of these extinct crocs are iconic in the evolution community and have been heavily requested for years. But to implement either one of these creatures, some major changes to the deep water would be needed, as crocodilians should be able to hunt land creatures from the water, and they should also have the ability to socialize in the water, as they are far more aquatic than all of the semi-aquatics in the game currently. These 2 crocodilians are drastically different from each other in a variety of ways, with Sarcosuchus being much thinner than Deinosuchus, with a narrow snout and a bulbous nose, while Deinosuchus is much larger in size compared to Sarcosuchus. It was extremely difficult to choose between these 2 amazing creatures, but I ultimately went with Deinosuchus, mainly because of its larger size and that it seems more requested. Either one of these crocodilians would be elite additions to Jurassic World Evolution 3, and I hope both of them get added eventually. The next category will be filled by our feathered friends, with the next 2 creatures being Hesperornis and Osteraptor, and both of these birds are lovely, and I would adore them in Jurassic World Evolution 3. If you don't know, Unenlogians have been reclassified and they're now birds instead of Dromaeosaurs. Let's start with Hesperornis, which is a complicated addition to the roster, as it couldn't walk on the land very well. And this is a problem if they wanted to make it a semi-aquatic. As of now, I would rather have Hesperornis in the deep water than the lagoons, as there's no way for lagoon creatures to crawl up onto the land in the current state of the game. But if they were to add back the lagoon platform from Jurassic World Evolution 2, I would much prefer Hesperornis to be in the lagoons. In addition to the platform, a lagoon attachment where animals like Hesperornis or Archelon could come up onto the land and lay eggs would solidify its spot in the lagoon, which means this DLC slot would go away to Osteraptor. But even in the current state of the game, Osteraptor is objectively a much better pick for the deep water than Hesperornis. And while it's my most requested creature for Jurassic World Evolution 3, I would much rather have Hesperornis be in an upgraded lagoon than in the deep water. Osteraptor is one of the most requested creatures for Jurassic World Evolution 3, and it seems like at one point it was even planned for Jurassic World Evolution 2, as there are some audio files referring to it.
Elongated jaws of the Austroraptor house rows of conical teeth, less suited to tearing and piercing, but perfect for trapping its prey. If this dinosaur were to get hold of you, it would not let go.
While Osteraptor is a better semi-aquatic addition, I'm pretty biased and I would still love to see Hesperornis in the deep water, even if it doesn't reflect its lifestyle. But both of these birds would be elite additions to Jurassic World Evolution 3, and I hope both of them get added to the game in some form. For the final DLC slot, we will be diving into the world of Ornithopods, and specifically we will be looking at Lurdosaurus.
Did someone say Lurdosaurus?
Psst. I see dead people.
Hi.
This semi-aquatic iguanodontid is unusually short and rotund and is theorized to live life like a hippo, where it would spend most of its time in and around water, feeding on a variety of aquatic vegetation. Lurdosaurus is most certainly the least popular creature on this list by far, but I believe its inclusion would be immensely beneficial to the semi-aquatic roster, as there aren't any semi-aquatic herbivores in the game currently. While Lurdosaurus would be awesome in the deep water, I believe there are some much needed improvements for the deep water to truly make Lurdosaurus shine. Aquatic vegetation that herbivores could feed on would be awesome, and would add some much needed variety to animal behavior. Lurdosaurus is often compared to hippos, so why not give it the ability to walk on the riverbed? This behavior could be expanded upon to other animals in addition to Lurdosaurus, such as the Ankylosaurus. Both of these mechanics would allow our dinosaurs to interact with the environment in new ways, and I would love to see how Lurdosaurus could be implemented. I would briefly like to touch upon another ornithopod, Ankylorhinus. This hadrosaur from the late Cretaceous of West Texas is theorized to have eaten aquatic plants due to the shape of its beak, and because of the wet environment it lived in. While I would love to see this unique hadrosaur in-game, I personally don't think it should be a semi-aquatic in the same way something like Deinosuchus or Lurdosaurus, as it most likely just ate aquatic vegetation in swampy environments, and doesn't seem to have many adaptations for life in the water. But it should still be able to swim if it gets added. The semi-aquatic roster for Jurassic World Evolution 3 is lackluster, and I hope all the creatures discussed in this video are added eventually to bolster their numbers. Obviously, there are only 4 slots, and while I ended up going with Irritator, Deinosuchus, Osteoraptor, and Lurdosaurus, I would love to see y'all's hypothetical semi-aquatic DLCs using the creatures in this video or other animals not mentioned entirely. Please consider liking and subscribing if you enjoyed this video. I also have a channel membership, which is $4.99, where you get access to perks such as shout out at the end of each video, priority response to comments, and early access to videos. You've probably noticed that this was my first video that was set to members being able to watch early, and the same will apply to the Shonisaurus video. I also have a Discord server, so please consider joining that, as the art being shown off currently is from there. Also, Jurassic World Evolution 3 got nominated for the Best Simulation title at the Game Awards, and the link to vote is in the description. Finally, I'll be doing this at the end of each video from now on, but I'll be covering progress for the Regalius Edmontosaurus mod in Path of Titans that I'm involved with. And the friendly call just got finished, so have a quick listen. More skins and animations should be coming out in the near future, and I can guarantee the mod will release before 2067. But I hope all of y'all have a great day. Bye bye.